Hey y'all, so I'm back with this message real fast. I was sitting here and I was on Google, right? And I'm looking for images of the Red Sea being split or the ocean being split, so that the Hebrews could get through, right? And where Pharaoh and his army drowned. Excuse me, I'm still tired, y'all. And so I'm sitting here and I'm just like kind of like repeating to myself, what, like looking at these images is really making me like dive deep, and I'm coming to an awakening, and God is trying to show me a season that I was in. And it took me by surprise because I literally was just kind of like talking to myself, going over the storyline of what was really going on in Pharaoh's mind, and like why he was so angry and upset. And I'm just like, okay. And then I kind of just like shut up, and I was like, okay, God, I see what you're trying to show me, because I had a dream. It was a dream that triggered this this awakening, this epiphany right now, if you guys are wondering. And so it didn't make sense to me. And I had this dream probably 4 or 5 years ago. The dream, or oh no, maybe probably like 6 years ago, I had this dream. And at first it didn't make sense to me. And that was actually the breaking, like the breaking through of my true awakening. Um, when I did like these first dreams that I was having when I was having my spiritual awakening right in the very beginning. And like I said, the dream did not make sense to me at all before, until literally just right now when I'm looking at these images, right? And so God's telling me, like, a few years ago, probably like maybe 4 years ago, probably, I literally was in a season of Pharaoh. I was in a spirit of the Pharaoh spirit. And not where like I was chasing somebody down, trying to kill them because I was so angry. However, my anger did consume me to a point that it was literally like I did not think I could come back from it. I thought literally in real time that I probably would murder somebody or do something crazy. And not that I ever would, because I can't even hurt a fly. Actually, I could hurt a fly. Anyway, that's not what this is about. Um, but I really couldn't like hurt another person, because that's like, what? That's like weird to me. It's insane. But okay. Anyhow, um, my like the spirit of anger had consumed me, right? The enemy used a device because when I was young, coming up in a very toxic household, you know, we had, lots of yelling, arguing, fighting, bickering, just, a bunch of stuff that happens in you know, a black household that you don't typically see in a white household, right? Unless they're like, hood or, you know, trailer park people. And I'm not racist. I don't have nothing against people from the trailer park, you know, at all. So trust me. But I will say this: the enemy used the device of anger to consume me, because I could not see at all what the Lord was trying to show me. I could not see what the point was. I could not see God's plan. I couldn't see the bigger picture, where God was trying to lead me. All I saw was things crumbling. All I saw was, you know, things not working out. And, in the Bible, according to word, it says that, all things will work out for my good and my favor, right? And I'm like, nothing's happening in my favor. And I'm cursing God at him at this time. And yes, and before I go on, I'm sorry, that's just my two little toddlers. They're in the hallway arguing over toys. Don't be alarmed. They've been arguing all morning, y'all. So don't be alarmed. That's what babies do. And I'm not getting into no kid stuff. So they better argue. They'll be all right. So anyhow, um, where was I? I I didn't forgot where I was, y'all. Anyways, I'm just saying, like, I could not see like the point, and in the Bible it says, in Jeremiah 29:11, for he knows the plans he has for you, right? Now, that Bible verse in particular had always been like stalking me in a sense, and in a really good way, obviously, because the Lord, he's a good, like, of good, right? So in a really good way, Jeremiah 29:11 had stalked me from the time that I started my retransformation of the breaking down and then the rebuilding up, right? Because I had prayed a prayer to the Lord some at some point in my life during all of the stuff, basically asking him, like, hey, Lord, you know what? I want to live for you. I don't want to live this life anymore. I don't want to do this. I don't want to fornicate no more. I don't want to drink anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to change my life and I'm serious about it, And so I went and I rededicated my life to the Lord. I got rebaptized, and um I realized, like, God was like, okay, well, this is what you're asking for. So I'm going to completely break everything that you have ever known down and tear it away from your life because it no longer serves you. And plus, your foundation is super faulty. So I have to restart you all over, basically from scratch, y'all. And I'm telling you, from scratch, okay? And at this time, I'm doing this with 4 children now because my 4-year-old now, at the time, she was 1 years old, right? And so this all happened when she was 1. And I'm barely just now getting my bearings back. And I'm like so grateful for the Lord where he has me today. But he had to start my foundation all over from scratch. It was not pretty. There were a lot of crying, a lot of epiphanies, a lot of awakenings. I just had no idea that the massive tower moment that was awaiting me was coming for me. I had no idea. I kept telling myself, it must be something you did. God, did I do something to somebody somewhere? Did I not forgive someone? Did I not apologize to somebody? Did I not, I said, is it something I did? Like, what's going on? Why is this happening to me? Remind you, forgetting the prayer that I prayed, right? And I'm just going in on myself, kind of like similar to how Job cursed himself and his life and everything, and then God had to come to me like, relax. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, but plans to give you a hope in a future, right? I'm trying to tell you, no, baby, you can't eat nails. What the heck? Where did you get this nail from? I'm sorry, y'all. My kids be breaking toys and then stuff be popping off. Look at this. I don't even know where he got this from, you guys. Oh my God. I guess I'm going to have to get in there and clean that closet and declutter again. But anyway, what's up, man? Hi. Here, you want to play with this? Here you go. Ooh. Go draw mommy a picture. Here. Draw me some picture. And so anyhow, um, I'm looking at these images, right, of Pharaoh, and I'm telling myself, like, people are sitting here, like, and I'm talking about the woke community, and you could be mad if you want to. I'm a part of the woke community. I don't care if you're mad. This is not for you to like. This is not for you to, enjoy. This is just, personal information that I just had been given right now from the Holy Spirit. And so anyway, I'm thinking in my head, like, dang, like, Pharaoh and his whole nation were not even of God. I'll tell you why. These people were okay beating, humiliating, starving the Hebrews, right? These people were okay with murdering brand spanking newborn baby boys, the firstborn sons. And I thought in my head, because, I hear a lot of people saying, oh, I'm a Hebrew. Oh, the real Hebrews are black and this and that. Okay, whatever. We can all agree to disagree. Whatever. This is not about that. What this is about is that Pharaoh and his nation was not of God. They were of the enemy. They were of the devil. Plain and simple. And why would anyone in this world that says that they are of the Lord, that they love the Lord, why would you want to be a part of something so gruesome as that? So you are okay with them murdering innocent newborn babies, the firstborn children? You're okay with them beating other human beings and trying to force them to work and labor without breaks, without rest, without food, without water? Like, you're okay with that? You're okay with these people coming to other people's homes, burning them down and stealing their belongings or even their wives or whatever? You know, it just baffled me because I'm thinking in my head, like, because once upon a time, the reason why I'm saying this, because once upon a time before, when I thought that I had given up on the Lord, right? When I got into my spiritual awakening and I learned so many things, I did so much research with all kinds of things, right? And I thought to myself, okay, yeah, this makes sense. And I think that in the past life, I was actually Hebrew because, remind you, I had a dream that had triggered all of this, right? And hey, come from over there now. Come out. And that's enough. Stop hollering, please. Sorry, you guys. Babies, kids, you know how it is. And so, and I don't apologize for my kids being in the background, whining and crying. They're babies. Like I said, they playing, they arguing over toys. You know, I'm not gonna apologize. I got babies. It is what it is. So, anyways, like I said, to remind you that I had a dream that triggered this, right? I was looking at the images and I noticed that, like, you know, that their villas and their structures and their boats and things like that were like gold and just beautiful and big and just like just beautiful, right? Well, part of my dream at that time back then, um, I had saw these really big boats of gold and just, oh my god, it was so beautiful. I couldn't even describe to you this dream if I wanted to. If I knew how to draw, I would draw you the image. I remember being on one of the boats. I remember buying something from one of the stores. Oh God, it was so beautiful. And I'm thinking to myself, like, dang, was I a past a Hebrew, or not a Hebrew? I'm sorry, you know, an Egyptian. And I'm thinking in my head, like, I mean, I'm telling you guys, I was full blown with it. I was obsessed with Anubis. I had them all over my house. I was obsessed with Pharaoh and Nefertiti. I had them all over my house, you know, and I realized obviously I was worshiping false gods and I had too many deities and too many idols in my house all at once, you know. So I had to like let a lot of that stuff go. And I just reclaimed my faith back with the Lord. And ever since I did, I feel completely back to normal. I feel completely like at peace, like a peace that surpasses understanding, a rest that sits upon me. That's like a loving rest. You know what I mean? And because God had to show me, He said, "Okay, you want to go down the rabbit hole? I'm not going to stop you. In fact, I'm going to let you go because there are actually some things that I do need you to learn about this so that you can come back and then today it'd be a testimony, right? What is this? March 20th, 2025. It's a testimony. As simple as that. And this is not anything where I'm judging anybody or trying to, you know, make anybody feel bad or trying to give false information or false doctrine. I'm not here for none of that. I'm just basically, you know, genuinely giving you my own personal experience and my own personal opinion about the whole situation. That's just where I'm at with it. I just think that if I was to go back into their time, I would not choose to be an Egyptian. I would definitely, most definitely 100% choose to be a Hebrew. Because no, I'm not okay with murdering newborn, firstborn son babies. I'm not okay with beating on other human beings and forcing people to do stuff against their will when they're tired and clearly, you know, exhausted. Like that's just not okay, you know. And it is what it is, you know. And I just hope that, you know, others of you out there can just take some of this information and just think about it like yeah, like, you know, that's crazy. And, you know, I'm not forcing nobody to do nothing or say anything, you know. This is not what that's for. I just was having like a little epiphany moment right now and I just thought I'd share with you guys. But I love you guys and I will be back with another message, I'm sure, cuz the Lord has been giving me a lot of, you know, information these last few days. So, and in fact, you'll probably get like a shorts coming soon cuz I actually have another message for somebody out there is pertaining to somebody's mother, but we'll talk about that in the next video. But I love you guys and bye. Have a good day.